Fortnite loves shaking things up every season, and honestly, that's part of the fun. Just when you've settled into a comfortable loadout, the game decides to toss in new toys, vault old favorites, and force us all back into the, okay, what do I even carry now phase. It keeps everyone experimenting, arguing, and let's be real, jumping back into matches more than we planned. Every chapter brings new weapons to test, and even if you're loyal to your own playstyle, it's almost impossible not to try everything at least once. And of course, there are always those standout weapons that the entire community seems to fall in love with. You know, the ones that make you say, yeah, this might be my new main. In today's video, we're breaking down the very best weapons of the current Fortnite season, what hits hard, what feels smooth, and what you should absolutely be running in your loadout right now. Let's get into it and see which guns are dominating the island this time around. I'm quickly moving on to the video, and I'm ranking weapons in Fortnite Chapter 7 Season 1. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching. The weapons in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, grenades, clingers, dynamite, and Forsaken Vow Blade. If there is one thing that instantly exposes a weapon as, yeah, maybe put that back, it is when you pick it up and immediately start planning what you will replace it with. That is exactly where our C-tier squad lives in Fortnite Chapter 7 Season 1. These are the items you grab only because your inventory looks emptier than your gold bar balance after visiting an upgrade bench. Let's start with grenades. Yes, they are great at blowing up buildings and deleting someone's carefully crafted fortress, but beyond that, they are basically loud confetti. Fun, sometimes useful, but not the kind of thing you want to rely on when someone is pushing you with a mythic rifle. Now, clingers at least try to be interesting. You can only find them at the hot air balloon loot spots, which already makes them feel like limited edition collectibles that no one is really collecting. They stick, they explode, they do their job, but they never quite reach main weapon energy. They are like that one friend who shows up to the party, eats all the snacks, and leaves without saying goodbye. Fun in the moment, but not exactly essential. Dynamite, on the other hand, has one mission in life: blow stuff up. And to be fair, it completes that mission exactly as advertised. Toss it at a structure and watch things go boom in the most dramatic, I definitely meant to do that way possible. But when it comes to actual fights, dynamite feels slower than trying to farm materials with a pickaxe that is one swing away from breaking. Great for destroying buildings, not so great when someone is rushing you from 3 meters away. And finally, the Forsaken Vow Blade. This one looks incredibly cool, like, I want this on my wall in real life, cool, but the damage output could not disappoint harder if it tried. The blade ends up being more of a mobility tool than anything else, helping you zip around the map or complete the bride quests, but you will almost never pick it up hoping to win a duel with it. It is the kind of weapon you keep until you find something better, and trust me, almost anything is better. The weapons in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, twin hammer shotgun, dual micro SMG, and tactical pistol. Every now and then you pick up a weapon and think, okay, you might actually help me survive longer than 10 seconds. And that is the energy of our B-tier lineup in Fortnite Chapter 7 Season 1. These are the weapons that are not flashy enough to brag about, but absolutely reliable when things get messy. Take the twin hammer shotgun, for example. It feels like the tactical shotgun's cousin who drinks too much energy drink. Medium damage, a solid firing rate, and overall very balanced. But let's be honest, if someone offers you a mid-rarity iron pump shotgun or a high-rarity twin hammer, 9 out of 10 players are grabbing the iron pump and sprinting away without looking back. Then we have the dual micro submachine gun, which is basically chaos in weapon form. The fire rate is so fast it sounds like your character is trying to play a drum solo. At extremely close range, it melts opponents before they even process what is happening. But that tiny clip size? Pain. Absolute pain. You end up reloading so often, it feels like part of your job description. Amazing burst power, followed by you hiding behind a wall whispering, please reload faster. And lastly, the tactical pistol is back again doing exactly what it has done for the last few seasons, being quietly dependable. It handles close and mid-range fights really well, and the accuracy is respectable, until the recoil kicks in and reminds you that life is full of disappointment. It is not a weapon you flex on your friends with, but it is one you can trust when you land hot and need something that will not betray you immediately. Overall, the B tier might not win awards, but it definitely wins fights. The weapons in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Holo Rush SMG, Arc Lightning Gun, Vengeful Sniper Rifle, and Mythic Arc Lightning Gun. Some weapons enter your inventory and immediately make you feel like you just upgraded your entire life, like going from cheap earbuds to noise-canceling headphones. That is exactly the vibe of our A-tier lineup. These guns might not be S-tier legends, but they absolutely pull their weight and make you feel like you know what you are doing, even when you really do not. Starting with the Holo Rush Submachine Gun. This thing is a beast with its high damage per second and surprisingly strong mid-range potential. It does not hit as hard as the assault rifles, and it is not as precise as the Deadeye rifle, but the built-in scope just makes it feel smooth and satisfying. It is accurate enough, strong enough, and stylish enough to make you think, yeah, this is staying in my loadout. Next up is the Arc Lightning Gun, and this weapon is way better than it looks at first glance. You pull the trigger, and suddenly the game turns into a superhero movie with a stream of lightning shredding players at close to mid-range. It is usually the weapon you pick up instead of a submachine gun, and honestly, it performs incredibly well in that role. Still, it cannot replace an assault rifle because the range simply is not there. Great zap power, not so great long-distance performance. Then we have the Vengeful Sniper Rifle, which is like the almost amazing kid in the class. It is not a bad sniper at all, far from it, but the fact that you need multiple shots to finish someone, even with a headshot, instantly lowers the hype. When a sniper rifle demands follow-up shots, it loses that classic one-tap fantasy, and that is why it cannot join the S-tier VIP table. Solid weapon, just not game-breaking. And finally, the Mythic Arc Lightning Gun. It is everything the regular Arc Lightning Gun is, just slightly angrier. The boosted damage makes it a very tempting pick, especially if you are replacing a low-rarity submachine gun. But even with the extra power, it still falls short of S-tier greatness. Think of it as the premium edition of a really good weapon. Fun to use, high value, extremely reliable, just not quite legendary status. The weapons in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Iron Pump Shotgun, Deadeye Assault Rifle, Enforcer Assault Rifle, Mythic Iron Pump Shotgun, Mythic Deadeye Assault Rifle, Mythic Twin Hammer Shotgun, and Mythic Enforcer Assault Rifle. Some weapons just make you feel unstoppable the moment you pick them up, and that, my friends, is exactly what S-tier is all about. Starting with the Iron Pump Shotgun, this legendary beast feels like a return to the glory days of the old Thunder Pump. It packs decent damage against players but struggles a bit against structures. However, if you land a headshot with the legendary version, you can literally erase someone's entire health and shield in one satisfying slam. Close-range fights suddenly become your personal highlight reel. Then there's the Deadeye Assault Rifle. This gun hits that magical balance between power and ease. Its damage per second is solid, the recoil is almost non-existent, and the scope cuts down bloom when you aim down sights. Basically, you can spray accurately, score hit after hit, and look like you were born with perfect aim. Honestly, it is one of those guns that makes every firefight feel like a montage clip. Next up, the Enforcer Assault Rifle. No scope here, but don't let that fool you. The damage per second is high, single shots pack a punch, and recoil is practically non-existent. It is fast, reliable, and, let's be real, will end up in a lot of meta loadouts simply because it does its job flawlessly. Close to mid-range? You are golden. The Mythic Iron Pump Shotgun takes everything we loved about the regular Iron Pump and cranks it up to 11. Close-range fights with this weapon are a nightmare for anyone unlucky enough to be on the receiving end. If you're trying to choose between the Mythic Iron Pump and the Mythic Twin Hammer, the Iron Pump edges it out slightly, but honestly, both are terrifying in close quarters. Speaking of Mythics, the Mythic Deadeye Assault Rifle is the ultimate upgrade for anyone who managed to defeat Hush. Same reliability and accuracy as the regular Deadeye, just with an insane damage boost. Mid-range fights suddenly feel like a precision laser show where every shot counts, and yes, your opponents will hate you for it. The Mythic Twin Hammer Shotgun, meanwhile, takes the regular Twin Hammer and turns it into a close-range nightmare. Super high damage, lightning-fast follow-ups, and the ability to two-tap someone makes this weapon feel unfair, in the best way possible. If you see this in your loot, prioritize it like your victory royale depends on it, because honestly, it kind of does. And finally, the Mythic Enforcer Assault Rifle. If you have a regular assault rifle, swap it out immediately. The Mythic version boosts damage so significantly that every fight becomes far easier, and your opponents suddenly have to rethink every push. Combined with the other Mythic weapons on this list, this gun completes the ultimate S-tier loadout. If you get all the right mythics, congratulations. You are basically a walking highlight reel waiting to happen. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.